Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Invasive Species, the series where we run Hoenn mons in Kanto and Kanto mons in Hoenn. Today's contender just might be the most lopsided of all the mons we've run up to this point, but before we talk more about Trapinch, let's cover the rules, and as always, you can find them outlined in great detail in the description below. We run on max IVs, no items in battle. Held items are okay. We choose the nature and, if applicable, the ability. We choose the hidden power typing, and all mons get access to a single egg move. I said that Trapinch might be the most lopsided Pokemon of the series up to this point, and I mean it. This little guy's stats are pretty interesting, especially for one whose base stats are below 300. Trapinch is for sure our slowest contender, and that might actually remain true for the rest of the series. That base 10 speed means we're almost certainly going to be moving second, but he makes up for that with that crazy high base 100 attack. All of its other stats clock in at 45 even each, and while that's not great, we at least have one amazing stat in our favor. But is our moveset complemented by this high attack? Not exactly. Because all dark types are special before Gen 4, we really don't have a whole lot going for us here. We do get the same type of attack bonus from Dig, but it's only 60 power in Gen 3, and Hyper Beam is pretty strong, but it's unlikely we're going to be using either of those moves since they're both 2-turn attacks, and the latter has a 10% miss chance. Silver lining is that we have a great move to fight Brock with early on in the form of Bite. Now, do our TMs make up for this pretty lacking moveset? Yeah, you betcha they do. While it's not a particularly long list of moves, we have great stuff like Secret Power and Earthquake, the latter of which we'll definitely be using for the endgame. That base 100 power coupled with the same type attack bonus is the exact kind of firepower we need to battle the toughest trainers in the game. The Giga Drain provides us with some coverage too, and who knows, maybe we will need it for the champions right on. Sunny Day is going to be helpful against Lorelei too, I think, because, man, we are going to have a hard time with that one. As mentioned in our rules summary, we have access to a single egg move, and while this list is very small, I actually had to think long and hard about this. Gust would be pretty good for early game cleanup against the game's many bug and grass trainers. Focus Energy is always pretty great, but there's just something about Quick Attack that stuck out to me. The fact that we have an option to help Trapinch move first, so long as the enemy doesn't have a priority move as well, provides our little guy with a massive advantage on the battlefield. It's not an amazing move as it only has 40 base power, but the fact that we have a way to somewhat circumvent our 10 base speed is phenomenal. Oh, and before we battle Brock, about the naming theme, Axeri, Griffin, Tavane, our Mon trainer and rival specifically, were named after characters from an old D&D campaign I was a part of. Axeri was my character, and with the guys playing Griffin Tavane, we had an absolute blast together. We were basically the three musketeers of that campaign, and, well, I checked the calendar and realized that was 15 years ago. I gotta say, checking the calendar and noticing that really hit me in the feels, because as many of us learn as we get older, the old days were simpler days. I went with these names because I just missed my old crew. That's it, that's the reason. Against Brock, our strategy is to spam Bite and win. Onix will outspeed us, and that's actually important because his Onix won't use Rock Tomb, due to the AI being programmed to take it easy on the player in the first gym battle. He'll only go for Rock Tomb if we're faster, or if he can sense the knockout, and even with our ground typing, Onix's strongest move is still Rock Tomb. Fortunately for us, we can outmuscle both members of Brock's team with 31 of our courtesy of a level up, 43 health remaining. I thought that'd be closer, honestly, but hey, that's what you get for giving Brock too much credit. Maybe one of these days he will be the menace that he is in Gen 1 solo runs. With our current moveset, we can get to Cerulean City no problem. You know the drill by now, and if this is your first video, first off, welcome. You'll see how we cover Cerulean City. As a ground type, we want nothing to do with Misty for the time being, although we will help ourselves to her trainers. They have great XP yields, and we're pretty darn strong, plus the water moves they have are weak. That said, I don't think the Cerulean rival is going to be very easy this time around either. This is where our base 10 speed is really gonna hit us hard, and Pidgeotto, unsurprisingly, is faster and leads off with Sand Attack, which can be annoying. Now, we have Feint Attack to bypass accuracy and evasion modifiers. However, it is special in Gen 3, so we're hitting with our measly 45 base special attack. And Bulbasaur exists, as you saw, Sleep Powder, Vine Whip, and it's Goodnight Irene. Now, as you go through some failed attempts here, real quick, as far as the rival starter goes, I think that Bulbasaur was the best choice because Bulbasaur has Sleep Powder, and we'll have that for most of the run. And starting at Lavender Tower, he's going to have Gyarados, and it won't have Hydro Pump right away, but it will in the final battle, and after we get all 8 badges. He does have 2 Intimidate users with that, but because we have Hyper Cutter, Intimidate doesn't matter all that much. With a bit of luck, we do defeat the Cerulean rival, so we can help ourselves to Secret Power, and that is going to be the linchpin to success against Misty. Now, we are going to be slower than both of her Pokemon, so it really comes down to whether or not Staryu will go for Harden. Thankfully, that's what happens. However, we're still going to hit this thing pretty hard. Or we'll take it out after a potion. Very nice. Alright, so out comes Starmie, and we do survive Water Pulse with 21 health. So this battle is doable, and why is that? Well, Secret Power in gym battles has a 30% chance to cause paralysis. It's basically Diet Body Slam. I do think that we'll be faster even with our terrible speed because paralysis does quarter the speed of the Pokemon afflicted with the status condition. And hey, look at that, moment of truth. And what do you know, we are faster. I love Secret Power so much. With Trapinch's amazing attack, we're gonna get some serious mileage out of this move. And to punctuate that point, let's battle the rival aboard the SSM. We've gotten a fair bit stronger, and he barely has, although he does have an evolved Pokemon, well, 2 of them, Eradicate and Kadabra. And hey, Rock Tomb hit despite Sand Attack, that's cool. And Quick Attack coming in clutch there to take out the Ivysaur. A little risky there against Eradicate, probably should have gone for Secret Power. Down goes Kadabra, and because we're ground type, we're going for Lieutenant Surge right away. See, we can't get hit by Thunder Wave, and although we could possibly get afflicted by Static, Secret Power does not make contact, so Lieutenant Surge, very, very easy. The easiest fight in this entire run, for sure. And now, Giovanni has the potential to be difficult. I mean, Onix and Rhyhorn are no problem at all. Kangaskhan, however, is pretty darn strong for this point in the game, but because it's Giovanni, rather than spamming Mega Punch and taking us out lickety-split, nah, he wants to go for Special Attack Bite, and Tail Whip, all that fun stuff that makes Giovanni the meme trainer he is in Red and Blue. It's good to see that carried over from generation to generation. And you know, Secret Power's paralysis shenanigans are just icing on top of this sweet cake. I actually can't remember the last time Giovanni was difficult. I know he's been tough in this fight in a couple of the runs, I just don't remember which ones. And now the Lavender Tower rival, this fight could be difficult. Thankfully, Pidgeotto doesn't use Sand Attack before going down, so our accuracy is still intact. Chesto gets around Sleep Powder. Follow-up Quick Attack takes him down. Out comes Gyarados. We get hit with Thrash for about half our health before one-shotting him. Growlithe comes out, burns us with Ember, but goes down in one shot all the same. Out comes Kadabra. It goes for Disable and misses, but Secret Power, despite our attack drop, still one-shots it. Next up is Koga, and this fight's actually going to be difficult because, while Smokescreen is pretty annoying, although we do have the type advantage, most of his team has Levitate, so we cannot hit them with Dig. We can only hit Muck, who is arguably Koga's best Pokemon. And while there's a reset between Minimize and our own missing from Smokescreen, yeah, this is going to take quite a few tries, isn't it? I can't complain though, because it's been a while since Koga's been difficult. Usually he can be pretty annoying, because his whole strategy is manipulating your accuracy and his evasion with Muck. Every member of this team can poison you, whether it's with Sludge or by Toxic. Still, the damage we're dealing is excellent, and I have to say, I'm kind of surprised that I've kept Quick Attack around for this long. It really is a useful move for Trapinch. But thankfully, as we battle Koga, we don't have to worry about speed too much. I mean, we are outsped by Muck, yes, really, and Wheezing. But the fact that we're faster than Coughing is pretty good. When you play as a Pokemon as slow as Trapinch, you really learn to appreciate just how slow Muck and Wheezing normally are. And without Acid Armor, we do one-shot Muck with the Dig. And if you're curious about Rock Slide, I figure, hey, we're faster, might as well try for that flinch chance. We'll use Quick Attack here to keep him out of healing range, and the follow-up Secret Power takes him down. We finally win. That took way too many tries. I gotta say, all things considered, that Trapinch has been doing pretty good. But Silph Co can make or break a run, especially in Generation 3, so let's see how our little protagonist here does. Wing Attack deals 25, and we one-shot Pidgeot with Rock Slide. Venusaur comes out next, and of course goes for Sleep Powder, and thankfully our Meowths have been picking up Chesto Berries. Unfortunately, Quick Attack just can't put Venusaur away. I mean, hey, we have 1 health left from Razor Leaf, might as well see how we do. Next up is Gyarados. Do we outspeed? Nah, of course we don't. Even with our 14 level lead, no way are we outspeeding that thing. Okay, I think our strategy here is simple. Get a paralysis on Venusaur with Secret Power, and we should be able to outspeed it and take it out. Pidgeot we will always one-shot, and there's no fear of Feather Dance thanks to Hyper Cutter, and there's the paralysis. And we now outspeed, heck yeah. Out comes Gyarados. It goes for Leer. Interesting choice. Well, we'll help ourselves to a one-shot. Okay, and I think we got this. The Silph Co rival must have taken notes from Giovanni, doubling up on Leer. Very nice strategy. And when Alakazam comes out, we go for Quick Attack. Not a one-shot, sadly, but hey, it can't really hurt us this fight because it only has Future Sight as an attacking move. You know, I was considering teaching Return for this fight, but I'm very glad that I didn't. That would introduce a lot more Sleep Powder luck into the equation. And Giovanni here in Silph Co typically is pretty easy, and he will be here as well. I figure that we should go heal up while we're here anyway, because after we kick Team Rocket out of here, the person on the 9th floor who will heal you and let you rest in the bed won't let you do it anymore. That's kind of messed up, don't you think? You know, the president gives us a Master Ball. Hey, how about the VIP suite while you're at it there, cheapskate? And we're going to take out Sabrina while we're in town here. We only take damage off of Venomoth because we crit and one-shot Alakazam with Quick Attack. Next up, between Erica and Blaine, I think we're going to go battle Blaine just because I want to be absolutely certain that we one-shot everything on Erica's team. I mean, we definitely will, but I want to be faster too. We don't have to worry about Intimidate, and because of that, we actually one-shot Growlithe with a non-critical Quick Attack. Fire Blast doesn't do all that much to us, surprisingly, and obviously we one-shot it. Next is Rapidash. We get brought to 44, but one dig takes care of it. Last is Arcanine, goes for Fire Blast and misses, 15% chance of that. The question is, will we one-shot Arcanine with Dig? Gotta love that HP trickling down, and yeah, we do. This was actually our second try because we got crit by Fire Blast back-to-back. I just wasn't gonna waste your time with it. So yeah, second try victory, pretty good. Now, as we go to the Sevi Isles and get the rare candy and the PowerPoint up there, I gotta say, I'm having a ton of fun with this run. Of course, my nostalgic name drops are doing it for me, but being able to play as a Pokemon as lopsided as Trapinch has just been super fun. It just goes to show you that you don't have to be fast to kick butt here in Pokemon. Oh, and obligatory mention of Erica, as we have to battle her before Giovanni. Obviously, we are super high-leveled and faster, clear across the board, no problem here. As we get ready to battle Giovanni, we'll go ahead and clock in our time here, 4 hours and 58 minutes. Hey, I thought this thing was supposed to be slow. Well, good thing he also leads off with a slow Pokemon, and Rhyhorn just goes for Scary Face as we are already underground. No surprise that we one-shot there, and no surprise that Dugtrio will outspeed us. It is the fastest member of Giovanni's team, after all. Also the most frail. As Nidoqueen comes out, we will have to tank an Earthquake. We get brought down to just over half health, but because we have Quick Attack as our egg move, wow, we actually took it out. I was not expecting that. As Nidoking comes out, we get brought down pretty low thanks to the Oran Berry. We're at 45 health, and now Giovanni will proceed to heal his Nidoking. Probably should have used a full restore there because we're still going to be faster. Well, Giovanni's credit, he does go for a full heal, although it's too little too late. As Rhyhorn comes out, I go for Dig, anticipating Scary Face, but Giovanni, in a plot twist, uses Earthquake over a status move. What is this? Why are you in Generation 3, man? Don't you know that Generation 3 loves its status afflictions? Its stat drops, that's how you win battles here, Generation 3. So what is the solution to this battle? Well, it's Quick Attack, because it one-shots Dugtrio. We will still have to take damage from Nidoqueen and Nidoking, and as Giovanni attempts to draw Nidoking and Hyper Potions, we go for Quick Attack, thankfully no Poison Point. And with our health the way it is, Giovanni relies on good old Gen 3 loves status Scary Face instead of taking us out with Earthquake while we're underground, which it totally would have. And yeah, I know my commentary carried on past the battle, that's just how Gen 3 is, man. Although this fight's gonna be hard. Pidgeot does go down in one hit, I like that. And I had to say, I am surprised that Venusaur did not go for Sleep Powder right away. So yeah, we got destroyed. The strategy as a whole is still going to be the same as it was in Silph Co. We do have to consider that he now has a Rhyhorn on his team. That's not really a big deal to us because we can deal super effective damage in the form of Dig, although we did get the TM for Earthquake off of Giovanni. And as we're going through these attempts here, I'm like, you know what, let's go ahead and bite the bullet and teach Earthquake over Dig. I say bite the bullet because TMs are single use in Generation 3. So if we want to teach a move, we have to be absolutely certain that we're using it on the correct Pokemon, and of course we're only using Trapinch in battle. Basically, I'm just a stickler for hoarding TMs for as long as possible. Now in the battle where we first used Dig against Venusaur, we almost took it out from its health. From its remaining health, so Earthquake is definitely the play there. However, we still have to paralyze Venusaur with Secret Power. We'd prefer not to get hit by Razor Leaf, especially because it has a high crit chance, but Venusaur might also go for Growth. You know, after so many tries, I was like, you know what, let's just see how much Earthquake deals to Venusaur on its own on turn 1, and turns out it's almost a one-shot, so we can switch to good old Quick Attack to mop up there. And just kidding, he swaps into Gyarados, basically throwing that Pokemon away. Earthquake unsurprisingly one-shots Rhyhorn. Growlithe goes for Leer, the best move it could have used, as Alakazam is the only member of the team remaining. Sadly, no one-shot from Quick Attack, but as long as we didn't get crit, which we did, we were in no danger. Alright, we only have 5 more mandatory trainers to fight for the remainder of the game, the Elite Four and the Champion. I cannot believe Trapinch subbed 6 hours to this point. Who would have thought giving him a Quick Attack would have been such a game changer? You'd never think to do that, but it's kind of why I like doing these runs. The added Egg move, which you can get naturally by breeding, it just adds a whole new layer of strategy that you would otherwise take for granted. However, that's not going to save us from Lorelei. No way in Heffel is she going to be easy. Her entire team is super effective against us, is faster than us, except Slowbro. And being faster is nice, however, Slowbro surviving will ensure that we go down to Surf. Now, Dugong has to go for Safeguard on turn 1, and by going for Sunny Day, we can manipulate the AI of Cloyster to keep going for Hail. We will want Sunny Day up, as that will half the damage from water attacks we take, which I think is, well, let's just say I think it's mandatory. We got a flinch on Slowbro, 2 for good measure. Earthquake is just overkill at this point. Now we get hit by Attract, but on turn 2 we're faster. Why? We got the Quick Claw from the Safari Zone. We get another clutch Quick Claw proc and deal great damage to Lapras, although we're confused now. We power through Confusion, survive Surf, down goes Lorelei. My god, that took so many tries you have no idea. My original idea was to go in with a Chesto Berry because Slowbro has Yawn and Jinx has Lovely Kiss. As for Bruno, Earthquake one-shots Onix. He sends out the second one next, which softens us up with Earthquake before we take it out with one of ours. Quick Claw procs, Hitmonchan goes down. Hitmonlee comes out, brings us to 29 health with Brick Break before it goes down to Earthquake. And unfortunately, we don't get a Quick Claw proc, Cross Chop does not miss, down we go. And we are going to need Quick Claw to get through this fight as well. However, we can also rely on Mega Kick missing if Hitmonlee goes for it. It does like to do that. And Cross Chop having 80 accuracy will be nice as well. We can tank hits from the 2 Onix, so while we would prefer Quick Claw to proc, it doesn't have to here. It procs again on Hitmonchan. There's our Mega Kick miss. Cross Chop brings us to 1 health, Bruno heals, and then we get a critical hit to ensure the knockout. For Agatha, we have Hidden Power Ghost to deal with her ghost types, Earthquake for Arbok, and Rock Slide for Golbat. I think we're in good hands here. Gengar does go for Double Team, so we missed the first time, but not the second despite the higher evasion. Oh yeah, Rock Slide can miss by 10%, so we're confused on the turn it should have been knocked out. Thankfully, we power through it. Out comes Haunter, misses with Hypnosis, and we one-shot with Hidden Power. Gengar 2 puts us to sleep and lays in with Shadow Ball. Thankfully, it's physical in this game before we wake up and one-shot it. Last is Arbok. It goes for Iron Tail, brings us to 6 health, but you know, we respond with Earthquake and a crit, which was totally unnecessary, but there's no kill quite like overkill. A wise man once said, "Never gets old when something blows up." I wasn't expecting that fight to be difficult. Lance, on the other hand, we have good coverage for his team, but his team is pretty strong all the same. Come on, Quick Claw, don't fail us now. Well, it starts off pretty bad with 1 Rock Slide miss, and even worse, we don't one-shot it. However, Lance will use a full restore here, and provided we don't miss, we can switch to Quick Attack and gain priority. Hey, we wanted good Quick Claw luck, we got it. Down goes Aerodactyl. Out comes Dragonite, no Quick Claw, but Hyper Beam misses, 10% chance of that. Well, there's another Quick Claw. Oh my... Yo, we just made it. We just made it to the champion on our first try against Lance, you know? Oh, this run is something else, man. Can we clutch it out in sub 6 hours? Well, only one way to find out. Let's take on the champion. Now, we know how the Song and Dance goes with Pidgeot by now. The problem is that he does have Sand Attack in this battle. I guess that the champion went to the move relearner to give it back to him. And of course, he goes for it right away, and we miss. Par of the course. But hey, Quick Claw and we don't miss, I'll take it. Venusaur comes out, goes for Solar Beam, but on turn 2, Quick Claw procs again. Well, that's awesome. Out comes Gyarados, he goes for Dragon Rage, and we bring it to very low health with Rock Slide. We bring him back down low after a full restore, but Quick Attack just can't put him down. I gotta say, that was a pretty solid first attempt there. We did have Sand Attack and made it to the third member of his team. As we go through attempts here, originally I'm like, okay, maybe Earthquake could possibly one-shot Rhydon, but that's a silly idea because Rhydon is fairly tanky physically, and if we're not one-shotting Gyarados with Rock Slide, we're probably not gonna one-shot Rhydon with Earthquake. However, we do have the move Giga Drain. We talked about that at the start of the run here, and Rhydon has become something of a free heal for us in this series to any Pokemon who can make use of this move. No, I don't know why Trapinch can learn Giga Drain, but I'm very happy that he can. And I think it's pretty clear that the only reason we're having any luck in this fight is because of Quick Claw. I mean, when it doesn't proc, we have Alakazam going for Reflect, and it survives Earthquake. And then Rhydon takes us down. And in this attempt, he went for Feather Dance Pidgeot because apparently our rival forgot that we have Hyper Cutter. After healing, Quick Attack takes him down. You like Quick Claw procs? Well, how about 2 of them? Out comes Gyarados, who thankfully misses Hydro Pump. Against Gyarados here, you know the drill. I forgot to go for Quick Attack. I was button mashing a little too fast there. Alakazam sets up Reflect, but we crit. Against Rhydon, we get brought to red, but Giga Drain does not one-shot Rhydon, although this isn't the worst thing ever because we can keep getting healed. Not only that, but after the full restore loop, we can use Quick Attack to guarantee that we knock out Rhydon. If we don't get crit or burned by Arcanine, we win. Yo! We just beat the game with a level 72 Trapinch. Quick Attack, oh man, that's the move to give Trapinch. Dude, that was incredible. I don't care what happens for the rest of this series. We just beat the game with Trapinch in the low 70s. Oh, what an absolute blast of a run. We just passed the 6-hour mark though, but that doesn't mean Trapinch didn't do any less amazing, considering how lopsided it was. And it's pretty easy to rank. Level 72 is the C tier, 6 hours and 2 minutes is the A tier. Trapinch, you probably weren't expecting this, is a B tier Pokemon here at Invasive Species. Oh man, I'm just grinning from ear to ear right now. I'm so happy for this little dude. But can his competition over in Hoenn, we're sending Cubone over there by the way, can it match up against Trapinch? I don't know, but I guess we'll find out. Take it easy guys, see you at the next run.